We have serious concerns about the escalation in Rafah. Israel's ground campaign there is a massive escalation in this war, and it should result in a massive step change in response from other countries. We are again calling on the government to finally match its very strong words of condemnation with action. We have been calling for now since November for the Irish government to push for trade sanctions at an EU level, for Ireland to make a referral to the International Criminal Court, for Ireland to signal its intention to support South Africa in the International Court of Justice. And then of course there's the things we can do on a national level, like the Occupied Territories Bill or the Illegal Israeli Settlement Divestment Bill. There's a lot of options that are available to the Irish government to finally kind of end this wait and see approach. I don't know what exactly they're waiting for, but I think it's very clear to everybody that there's a huge discrepancy in the government's approach to the brutal invasion of Ukraine compared to the brutal invasion of Gaza. Now is the time for the government to change its approach. We think, 1.5 million people being corralled into the south, seen as kind of a safe zone, and now a step up in the ground invasion there. If they don't do it now, I don't know when they will. So we're calling on the government to make an immediate change in their approach.
On the Occupied Territories Bill, the government has said repeatedly that the Attorney General has recommended that it's not possible to do that under current. It's not currently possible to implement that bill. Would you encourage the government to get separate legal advice?
Yeah, and I think, there's conflicting advice from different legal experts on that. It's one of the options available to them. I would seek other advice and see if it's possible. Again, if they don't think it is, there is the Illegal Israeli Settlement Divestment Bill. There's a number of levers that are available to the government that they can use to try and have an impact on this, and what we're calling on them to do is use the one even of their choice. There's a number of different options available to them. We've put forward motions calling for different ones since November, and I think it's just quite kind of staggering to see that they've refused to take any of those options available to them. We saw them join with, I think it was 32 other member states to make a referral to the ICC back when Russia invaded Ukraine. We've seen, all countries joining to introduce trade sanctions. And when you think about it, just bring it back to one trade sanction that they could introduce, lobby for at an EU level, the EU-Israel trade agreement. Within that agreement, there's a human rights clause. I think it is clear to everybody that Israel are in breach of that clause. What exactly is the point of having a human rights clause in an agreement if it continues after the fact? So there are a number of things they could do. If they want to, just go with that advice, not seek any more, there's a number of other things they could look into.
Really heartened to see there's a step change from the ranker on that trade agreement there last week. I think he said they're seeking to look at the deal again.
Heartened might not be the word that I would use, but yeah, it was great to see that he'd finally made that kind of intention clear from Ireland. I'd been raising it with him for, I think, every week since November, and he'd always made out that that wouldn't be a possibility. He'd always taken the opportunity to explain to me how an EU response works, all of those things. So it's a shame it took so long, but of course it's really, really welcome. And we've seen, strong words from the Taoiseach, we've seen strong words from Minister Coveney going into Cabinet this morning. All of those words are really, really, really welcome. What we're calling for is actions to match them.